to you with this microphone so that everybody can hear the questions. And you can ask questions of either of our speakers or both. Questions?
And to encourage your questions, if you don't ask questions, this is 15 minutes allotted for Kent and I to do karaoke. Yes. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. So my question is, have you had an effort or you considered engaging the private sector, both the restoration practitioners and the marine contractors?
Yes. Actually, there's a good number of contractors, well, not contractors, but I mean consultants here today, which is terrific to see. I think, is there anybody in the room who's from any of the local municipalities or the counties? Do we have, oh, great, perfect. Well, of course, I recognize you now. Yeah. We'd like to see a lot more of that too, obviously. As far as the contractors are concerned, we always invite to make sure that the word is spread out to them. A lot of our consultants actually work with specific contractors. They're welcome to attend. We'd love to have them here to talk about techniques and share their skills and knowledge. The problem tends to be that our meetings are oftentimes during days when they're actually working. So that tends to be a problem. If that is a problem, there's always the opportunity to do evening meetings or something like that if people prefer. So it just depends on how you guys want to implement that. But yes, obviously that's something that's huge. And again, not just counties, but actually coming down to those municipalities, because there's a lot of work done at a very local level in this kind of field. So
other questions?
And just follow up a little bit on that. I think Farrah's going to be here this afternoon. Is that right? Oh, I've never met you, so nice to meet you. So, and she's going to be talking about an effort that is directly engaged at working with marine contractors to try to do exactly that and get them more engaged in the conversation.
Shelley, did you have a question? Interaction with local decision makers. Just I'm trying to educate our decision makers to go from the more conventional methods of protecting shorelines, and I'm not getting very good luck. So trying to get the decision makers educated to engage, county engineers, public works, to look at another way of doing things, and I need help.
well, one thing. Did you want? Okay. One thing that the different ERTs have been able to do is hold specific workshops. So, for instance, that's something where you bring your technical expertise to bear, and you can say, hey, we need this because it hasn't been provided, and you could focus it in a specific area where you think that's necessary. So you get an ERT group together and say, hey, we'll do a workshop. We'll invite the people that you think need to be there, and then hold a workshop that kind of is geared in that direction. So you're making sure you're getting that information out in front of them. That's an easy opportunity. Again, that's using existing resources. Connecting with those regional or local folks that have a facility, and we bring what's necessary to bear on that. And again, this gets back a little bit to what Farrah is trying to do with contractors, but you could scale it for anything, and politicians, whatever you guys want to do.
And I think one of the things that I hope to do with the other ERTs is, I believe it's Marion. No, what's the county in South Florida? Southeast Florida. No, it's Martin County. Martin County passed an ordinance last year, I believe it was, where it's just like Maryland, where the preferred route is a natural solution over a seawall, and anybody that wants to do a seawall has to justify it, and it's not just sort of an ordinance that is sitting there that isn't backed. I mean, it's enforced, and it was a pretty strong ordinance, and so I want to see sort of sharing of those ordinances from where it's been implemented in local governments. I know Escambia County has one as well, and so trying to share those examples of where it's happening. And one of the most effective things that we did when we were working to try to get the estuary programs going was Holly Greening from the Tampa Bay NEP brought up one of her counties. I think it was a Pinellas County commissioner. And if you have a commissioner talking to another commissioner, they tend to listen a whole lot more than than us trying to talk to them. So I think that's another way that we could probably leverage the ERT structure, is to find those great examples and hopefully get commissioners coming up here and saying, look, this is why we're doing it, because a lot of times they're way ahead of on the side of the problem and can say, if you guys do it now, you'll save yourself a lot of heartache.
Yesterday, but looking at revising their land development code right now, and so we're going to be working with a small group of developers that is going to be providing comments to the commission for that land development code. And so, I want to be able to connect those critical parts about, you mentioned the if the upland hydrology is all good, then we don't have to worry about the estuarine part. And I don't think that the developers get that connection a lot of times, because there's so much development going on that they're not looking at the downstream component. So that's what I'm going to take away a lot from some of this, and in our future planning and meeting with them. And we are going to be planning a kind of a workshop presentation with some of the developers in Santa Rosa County to address some of those issues, and hopefully they'll take those comments back to the Land Development Code and to the Commission.
So from an estuarine perspective, you're right. I mean, having that component, maybe there are appropriate people in this group to be able to, provide that. We could, set that up. That's the collective we can set that up. Sure. Great up.
Have you all tagged on any FAEP meetings to present for Association of Environmental Professionals?
No.
We have an active chapter that's based in Pensacola, and it'd be a good presentation for the group.
So again, steering committee hears.
On the board.
I know the steering committee hears that. There's a great opportunity. Maybe tagging this to somehow talk about the PERT. Bring people together. I guess that's you, Kim, right? You're the joker.
Prompt and a reminder. Both the question about how to help educate local government officials, and also these ideas about other organizations. Those are great things to put onto the pertinent needs list, because people will have this after the meeting and won't necessarily forget the great ideas.
As David led off too, I mean, one of the big things about what we're trying to do today is capture ideas and things that will help PERT kind of formulate.
I've already done mine. It's yours. Thank y'all very much.